It's hard to do with the
such a good read into Shoryu.
Oh, God!
Uh-oh. We are live here at Studio 3 at Ignite Gaming Lounge in Chicago, Illinois. Welcome to the Chicago Smash 4 PR show. My name is Lord Sturm, and I am your host this evening. Joining me, in order of much better dressed than I am, is UR's Xylus and UR's Technique.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, everybody?
How's it going, everybody?
Hope you're all going to be enjoying this show. We're going to have a lot of great, exciting news, and we're going to be showing off our new PR.
To this the spooky edition, Halloween edition of the PR. I'm sure we'll scare a few people with the placements.
Yeah, and also our costumes are very esports.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm the headless horseman.
The man who just came back from the prom.
And I'm just really hoping for a win tomorrow in Cleveland. That's all I'm asking for, guys.
Cleveland?
No, in Cleveland.
Okay.
In Cleveland for the good guys.
I thought you just wanted to get it over with. Oh, man, that's terrible.
As a Cub fan, I'm pretty defeatist, but I think we have a shot yet. But that's real sports. Let's talk about esports for a bit. And this PR, I think, is going to have a surprise or two.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm super excited to get to it. So let's not waste any time here. Let's get straight to number 20.
Prepare yourself.
King of the Tomahawk, man. There you have it. Coming in at number 20, it is going to be Wit's Raven King, King of the Tomahawk.
Oh,
what do you guys think?
Yeah, Raven God. I think, like, immediately when you see Raven King on the PR, you can see, like, based on his results, like, weeklies definitely come into a lot, like, when you factor in. To lose on PR, like, so you can't just sandbag like all the time and just do good at majors. So
No, and like he's got some really like big player wins. He's beaten JJ twice. He's beaten Akiro. He's beaten Demitis, Bushi, Prophet. Like he's beaten some good names. Won Wit with JJ there.
Yeah.
Got third at CAC Smash 3. He's been having relatively good placements all around.
Yeah.
So like obviously his notable wins. A big proponent of how he got on here, just because I mean, beating JJ and Akiro is such a big deal.
He has some of the most impressive notable wins out of the bottom 5, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely has like I think the best best list of notable wins.
But the thing that did hold him back a little bit there is, you saw, like, his weeklies are pretty strong. He has, like, some good numbers there, but the thing that held him back was that end game placement.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever made it out of pools at like one of the regionals. But, like, at the rate he's going, like, I definitely see it happening soon.
He's improving fast, and that should be really exciting to see over the course of this next season, which has already started in earnest.
Yeah. The cutoff for this PR is Big House, the last day of Big House. So anything after that, basically all of October is when the new PR is, and like he's already gotten another win on JJ, set win, and like his just Ike in general is one of those characters where if you get an Ike that's that good, it's just really like you don't want it. It's intimidating, and it makes you make mistakes, and that's what makes his plays so good is that he'll catch those mistakes.
He is very fun to watch, and he's definitely a crowd favorite here in Chicago lately. He's on the up and up, and it should be fun to see how he performs in this next season. And
He made that.
Can
body.
I do it?
Yeah.
Body. Raven God.
don't sleep on the Raven God. Oh man, he's so fun to watch. But speaking of fun to watch, when this player is on point, he's also someone who can just take crazy names. But he may have fallen a little bit from last season. Let's see who's next at number 19.
I understand.
Formerly top 10 in Chicago, now falling to 19th place is Scotty, the multi-man extraordinaire. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think like obviously Bo being 19 had more to do with him not entering a lot of tournaments. Like he didn't enter Endgame at all for singles. Like he just did doubles.
And he did Brawl too.
Yeah, he did Brawl.
Yeah.
And then like obviously like his passion has kind of dwindled out like recently.
Yeah.
So.
And he's now focusing on Doc, and which
Jigglypuff.
that character's fun.
Jigglypuff.
He has a Jigglypuff, yeah. But I mean, obviously, like we can't not have Bo on the list, because he's such a threat when he's playing at his peak. It's just that he got unlucky at Endgame because his notable win wound up being Trinity, who had a big I can't remember the right word.
Kind of
right
a breakout tournament.
Yeah, where he beat Moniker, who was the person who was supposed to keep going on. But he did beat Seth at Smash at IAT.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that was really big. And he got 5th at the first E2C Arena. So obviously he's doing well there. But yeah, he's been slipping a little bit just because I think he's not really as interested in the game. And I mean, I love watching him play. When he's on fire, he's easily top 10, if not top 5.
Yeah, because like even if you just see right there the Miller's Man 4th place and 17th, like if you look at who got 17th that who he tied with, like you're gonna see like people near the top 10.
Yeah.
So like when he's definitely playing for real, like he's definitely up there.
And he's the kind of player who really, as soon as you start to count him out, like as soon as we start to underestimate Bo, he finds that one moment where he just gets like third, like the moment that speaks out in my mind. I think, was it HC 19 or 20 a long time ago, where he just went on a run. Then he got third.
I think that was when he beat K-Set with Peach.
No, it was one of them at Top. Or I'm sorry, it was like one of the first ones at Poplar.
Oh,
where he beat
okay.
Zenoto.
Right.
Or I don't remember what it was. But anyway, the point is, Bo, as soon as you start to sleep on him, he just becomes the highest placing Chicagoan at like any particular monthly.
Especially at
majors.
majors. He really takes those seriously when he's on it.
So I think that this placement's really more, like you guys said, a testament to the fact that maybe his interest is dwindling, and if it does continue to be that way, maybe he won't be on the next PR. But we still do recognize the work he's done, and that he is a very strong player, and we do hope to see him continue, even if it's just as maybe a double specialist.
Oh yeah.
So moving right along, let's get to number 18.
Hit him, baby. fiery up, man.
Newly sponsored by Team Virtue, here comes Naoto at number 18. This is another player who's had some issues with motivation as far as singles goes. We've seen this is another player who has started entering some tournaments and just doing doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, also player that was previously top 10 in the last PR.
Yeah, he's had some, you know, he at Evo he had like the famous moment where the handshake didn't happen, but he actually plays fairly well at Evo. I was actually surprised looking through it just because he was putting losers relatively early. I believe he got 129th, which is fairly far for being put in losers so early, and you know, all of his other results very solid. I believe he got top 3 at one of the E2C arenas. No, he got 5th, barely losing to Seth. But he's had some really big wins against players. Like we have Bushi, one that didn't count for this PR, but next PR he recently beat him. But it was in the last PR too. But Latte, the old legend, the Bowser player, he got Taka. Yeah, like his end game result was actually fairly good. He made it into top 32. So all in all, he's had pretty solid placements, but not to the place where he used to place.
I think he one of his breakout tournaments was the previous season that helped him make that top 10, finally break into that top 10 placing was the Minnesota monthly. Like he was able to finally break the top 8 curse that he was.
Yeah,
that
not
he was,
Construct, but the other.
Not the Wisconsin tournament?
Push more buttons.
Push more buttons, that was it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing about him is he's a good player at, you know, beating the matchup spreads.
Yeah.
Like he's able to break out, and we saw he had wins on Bushi and he had wins on Vincent. Those are 2 Bayonetta players.
Yeah.
Or Vincent plays Cloud too in that matchup. And Mario. Those are all 3 really hard matchups
Really
for Little
hard
Mac.
matchups.
And he still finds his way to break the mold and continue to put up results.
Yeah, I definitely think that the good thing though, like if you follow him on like social media, he seems to be definitely up on like his place in Smash Bros. Like he seems like he's definitely trying to make a wave next PR. So he's definitely a person you can look out for.
Yeah, because when he's motivated, he plays on fire. Little Mac in general, you know, one of those characters that's a very swing character that either you're going to be bodied or you're going to body. And when he's in his happy spot, he's going to body like players that like are way above anyone in Chicago, or at least like make them very scared to fight him.
Yeah, I know. At the most recent E2C arena, I was watching. It was Naoto versus Ruins on stream, and the winner would play Dom, and Dom was watching. And every time Ruins got a stock, he would just go, yes! And he's like, I don't want to play Little Mac, and I don't want to play Naoto, because Naoto is just, he is like just one of the most polarizing players to fight in our scene. And that's a good thing, just how much fear he instills in people.
Yeah, I would never want to run into him in bracket, because it's either going to be like I have to camp him so hard that neither of us are going to have fun, and both of us are going to be like, yep, this is how it has to happen, or I'm just going to get thrown off the stage with a fist, and then I'll just die at like 50.
Yep, that's the way things work in the land of Little Mac. We'll see if the fall season or this winter season. We call it winter season.
No, it's fall.
Oh, okay, fall. That was the summer season. This is the fall season.
Yeah.
We'll see if this fall season is the season where he finally picks up like a concrete secondary.
Yeah, because he has a Corrin. I believe he's working on one other character, Lucas, maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know he's been working on
Did
Corrin.
he, though?
I mean, of course. Did he? Unrivaled clap, everybody. But yeah, realistically, like, he just has to find a way to deal with his character's weaknesses. For example, like Cloud, pick up another character maybe. Just because that's the challenge of this game is it's really hard to solo main, especially as a character who's not like one of the top 5.
In those middle tiers, well, some people would call Little Mac low tier, some people call him mid tier.
Oh,
Depends on who you ask.
low tier.
But it is a challenge, and that's something that he'll have to face. And like you said, it looks like he's looking a little more optimistic.
Yeah.
Speaking of players who are, I think, starting to be on the up and up a little bit after a downturn, let's turn our attention to the next spot on our PR.
Oh,
This
jab block.
might
Got the
be
kill
it.
save. That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you should not get kill save.
Oh my god! Oh! I was about to say, he's dying at the moment. I didn't think something like that. And Special Pepper's in the right spot here. Is that it? No! But the follow-up chase! That's it! Atata!
We have the kill save! The kill save!
Going very reliably for those counters on the future cover used. No jump. Oh! He's done! The air dodge lead. Atata comes up in a style for me. And that is going to be 3-0.
Okay.
Atata gonna break into the PR at number 17. And I think you guys might have noticed something about those highlight clips. They were all from one tournament.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, his breakout performance at Endgame where he got 3rd place, beating Ned.
Show me your moves. You said endgame.
Oh yeah, that's Endgame. I'm sorry. Show me your move 17. But where he beat Ned, I believe Tyroy, Demitis,
Yeah.
And SlowJoe at
and
that
SlowJoe.
tournament.
Yeah, so it was a very big upset bracket in which he basically threw all of like the top players right into losers really early. So a lot of players just wound up getting low results because they had to run into each other like way or deep, shallower in bracket than they should have.
That tournament was pretty wacky.
And like on top of that, like before that tournament, I don't know where he would have been on PR because like last PR he kind of squeaked in at number 20, right?
Yeah, right at number
Like,
20.
He probably would be like a little bit kind of closer around that range, but like place in that Show Me a Move definitely like bumped him up a bit.
Yeah. And also, like, as all those tournaments that were on his list, that was literally
Yeah.
all of his
Yeah.
tournaments that he went to. So
'Cause
he barely squeaked
All
into
of his
into
PR
the same.
qualifying tournaments.
But Atata, like he's definitely like one of the better players. One of his main things, like one of the players, he doesn't go to too many tournaments, so he doesn't get too many notable wins.
I mean, he's still really young, so it's
Yeah.
really hard for him, I'm sure, to just go
Yeah.
out to tournaments like whenever he can, just because he can't drive yet.
Yeah, Atata's the boy though. I'm never gonna forget. Like it was like one of the early E2Cs. It was still at Top Cut, and like I had to play him round 1. And, like, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" He got me with, like a jab block. And it was like the first game. I was like, "Who is this guy? He's bodying me."
He is like such a like connoisseur of all the ways you can get that jab block into forward smash. It's insane.
He is he really grinds his teeth on the Wi-Fi warrior aspect.
Oh yeah.
We see a lot of we're going to see a lot more players as well in the future of this show, where we see a lot of people who got that start on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like just putting in hours and hours and hours of games.
Yeah.
And it is effective if you do it correctly.
He plays a lot of Anther's Ladder, particularly, not just for glory grinding. He finds focused practice, focused lab time, and it turns into results. And he finally had a big breakout in a big way at Show Me Your Moves, and congratulations to him for moving up a couple spots.
Yeah.
Coming up next is another player who we were talking about all the grind time that Atata puts in. This player may or may not put in as much practice, but let's see who's in at number 16. There you go. That's the first E2C player to make the PR so far. That's going to be E2C's Ruins, and in that you kind of see the polarizing style of the way Ruins plays in that little highlight reel where you've got like just the hype reads he can go for, and the other thing.
And then lasers. Where he's a big proponent of if you are in neutral and you don't need to approach, just shoot a couple lasers and then go on with your life because it makes people have to approach you, and then people having to approach Fox, that's good for Fox because that means they're not going to be near the ledge, except for going for the zero deaths. But still, like he's very much, I want you to come to me.
Indeed, we see here that he has been putting in actually some pretty consistent results at a lot of Poplar Creeks. A lot of he has a breakout result at that. By the way, is the ignition that was not streamed. That was the blackout ignition.
The lost episode.
The lost episode.
But like you said, consistent. That's like one of the main words of Ruins, like consistency. Because like there isn't too many like tournaments where he does like bad unless he's like sandbagging or something. But like he's always been doing pretty solid, and like he's definitely one of the players that you can more likely than not like see him do around his seat or a little bit better.
And like a lot of his results wound up being like sometimes we just go Ganondorf just to have fun.
Yeah.
And he'll still do really well with Ganondorf. He almost beat Panda Bear a few months ago, and it was like apparently he's got one of the better Ganondorfs in the scene.
Yeah, Joe said he thinks he has the best Ganondorf in the scene.
He has an impressive, actually, array of notable wins, especially for that kind of might have been Ruin's knock previously, was that he didn't get like so many good notable wins. But he has a win on Marshall and Crow from last season, and then looking ahead to this next season, he actually was able to beat JJ to win the Northwestern Wild Clash tournament.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Which by the way, that tournament did not
season,
account for this season's PR. But looking ahead, that's actually a pretty bright mark for him.
And like you were just saying, like him not having too many notable wins, having been like a knock. That's like something that you would probably see, like for someone that's pretty consistent, like getting their seed at tournaments, like only being who they're supposed to be, and not getting too many upsets. So I think that'll definitely be like where Ruins will probably grow, like going forward, like just getting more upsets and stuff like that. So it's definitely something to look forward to.
All right. This is our PR so far, you guys. We're 5 people in.
Yep, we're finally going on to the top 15.
Yep, let's get to it. The next player on this PR, he's actually a new face. I don't think he's been ranked on a PR yet.
No, he is not.
So this should be good. I'm curious to see what the chat's guesses are as to who this mystery individual might be. So I won't let you guys wait any longer. Let's get right down to it. And there you go. Vincent, sponsored by Vincent Games. Going to make his first PR.
Also known as Raikou or Niznav.
Oh, Niznav.
Nosniv.
Is Smag,
Yeah.
right? I'm not even going to try to say it backwards. Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. Vincent going to make it. What do you guys think?
I think, honestly, like, because, I play with Vincent a lot because being Fran's brother. So, like, he's definitely one of the players that, even when we first came in the scene, like a year ago, that I always thought was good enough to be on the PR. And, like, his main thing was just not entering enough tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, you'll even see at Endgame, like, he got 49th. He didn't even come to the second day of Endgame. He just, and, like, that's kind of been, like, his thing. Like, he'll just, like, either it's not enter enough to make the PR, or you'll just like not go or something like that.
Well, because I handle like the handling all the sheets and stuff, and it's basically always been like he gets like maybe 3 or 4 tournaments at most.
Yeah.
So he's actually been going out a lot more, and like I've always felt like he's easily a top 20 player. He just doesn't go to stuff.
And on top of that, like he was always good enough, but then on top of that too, like he like is starting to embrace the top tier.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell you like he plays Mario and Bayonetta and Cloud because they're the best characters.
Yeah.
Like he'll say
smart.
that. Yeah. So him playing those characters as well have gotten him more notable wins. Like as you probably saw right there.
That's kind of a good play to win
Yeah.
mentality. You have
Yeah.
like some people play, we all play the game for different reasons. But if you're like really looking to bunker down and find those results, like first of all, it's not just the characters that are giving him that.
Yeah.
He's definitely a good player regardless of character he picks.
Yeah.
But like
That's
it
gave him an extra
definitely
boost.
gives him like just a step ahead of people who don't
And
take that advantage.
Consistency as well. Like
Mhm.
that. Like when you're playing better characters too. Like you're probably going to be a little bit more consistent.
Right.
Oh yeah, and like his results are finally showing that like he plays really well at a lot of ignitions just
Yeah.
because like he has that tenacity of I'm going to win and I don't really have to worry about
Right.
like having to hold back because my characters are going to be able to help me through, and I don't have to he's still playing them really well.
Yeah.
Like he's got some really nice tech.
Yeah. Also, a thing I think to note, an important note to make here is that we're really like around this 15, 16 area is where we're really getting into the place where these players are consistently making it out of their pool
Yeah.
at our larger events. So, because I don't think Vincent has really drowned in a pool in a long time.
No, he did at Endgame. He made it out through the second chance.
No, Vincent. No, you're thinking of Base Trend. Base Trend made it out through
Base
second
Trend.
chance.
There
Yeah,
was
Vincent made it
someone
out.
that did, yeah.
Vincent, I think, clean made it out of his pool at Endgame.
He,
But like we said, he could not show up on Sunday.
And like
Yeah.
this bracket, like he drowned Sheen and
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Who else?
Someone else.
Oh, pull up
Maybe,
that list.
maybe it's on that
Tip of
list
my
of
tongue,
notable
it's
wins.
on
Let me
the
see here.
Tip of my tongue. Well, yeah, he had some really big upsets at that tournament.
Oh, I think it was Raven King.
No, it wasn't.
Was it? No, because he. Okay, that must have been at something else. But anyway, I digress here. I just wanted to make that point though for people who are maybe looking to try and make the PR, because I know a lot of people in our scene are very interested in improving and eventually making this list. Like this is about the area where you see people consistently make it out of their pool, and I think that's the easiest way to just make it known to the PR committee that you mean business is to make it out of your pools consistently.
Oh yeah, if you don't make it out of pools, that's really a signal to us where it's like maybe you're not quite ready for it yet, because the whole point of a PR is to say what is like for out of state people to be like this person I need to be worried about.
Like look at Raven. Just backtracking a little bit is like look at Raven King. Like he has so many impressive wins on so many top players in our scene, but he just does not make it out. He hadn't made it out of his pools at Endgame, which is the most important event that he went to.
Yeah.
And we definitely like weeklies do matter, but they don't matter nearly as much as like the big events of any particular season.
Right.
Which is fair.
It's like the time to really perform.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's done it. Vince has definitely performed well this season, and I'm hoping that he's going to do really well in this season coming up as well.
Indeed. All right. I apparently have lost the PR graphic on my phone, so I actually don't know off the top of my head who's going to be at
I got it for you.
number 14. Okay, so
All right,
I see it.
yeah, go
Take it.
ahead.
You do it.
All right,
give it a
I
shot.
got it. So the next person you're going to be seeing on here is actually someone that might be in this area right now.
Spoilers, it's not me. And there it is, the man who can do it all. Unrivaled Sage going to make it in here at number 14.
Yeah, right over there.
Mastermind.
You can't see him. He's
Behind the scenes.
he's busy doing literally everything else there is to do in the Chicago Smash 4 scene.
Yeah.
Then playing, but still he's just going to make the PR.
All-star streamer, all-star caster, all-star player too, and obviously it's only big tournament he could go to this season was Midwest Mayhem 4 because
And
everything
actually
else,
enter.
And actually enter. That's right. He went to
Yeah.
every big Midwest tournament. He just was there not playing.
And even though hidden bosses didn't count, like he also won.
Yeah, he won hidden bosses as well. So that's
what
with
he got.
with that beautiful me gunner play.
the reverse
Oh my
3-0.
gosh.
The Shoryuken against the Shoryuken.
Yeah, but looking at like the placing at Millsman 4, like you just see who he tied with. Like those are players that are like top 10 or just high like PR players in like other regions.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely showing like when Sage actually enters, like he's definitely one of the best.
Yeah, and he was also able to enter. I think he had decent sleep, so he was able to play correctly. Because that is a problem with like when we do streams. Is like sometimes we're just like up until 5 in the morning, like, yo, let's just do this real quick. It'll be fun, and then we do it, and it's like, oh yeah, the tournament's like 4 hours. Oops.
Yeah, you guys can John all you want. Just John all you want about your stream jobs and blah 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 blah. You know who's Johnning in the chat right now is Ned.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You didn't even
That's
because
not on stream.
because his win versus Ned was not on stream.
Yes.
In case you don't know the story behind
The
that,
legend.
the legendary Sage Charizard has a win on someone who might be placed pretty high on this upcoming PR.
And that
if
was
you guys
literally
stick around.
the first week of the PR too.
Oh, that was the first week of this current of the
Yes,
last
that
season.
was when 6WX was here and
Six Seconds
Hugo
Hugo
was
were
here.
here for Midwest Mayhem.
Yeah.
And you beat Ned with Charizard.
and as Ned would say right about now, he's probably saying in the chat right now, proof. Where's the proof?
We got the receipts. Go to challenge. I digress. Sage did have a great season though. It was excellent for
absolutely.
him. We would have liked to see him go to more stuff, but obviously we understand that he couldn't.
Yeah.
I think he's very happy where he is right now.
Although I do think 13th at Midwest Mayhem 4 is the best result at a tournament that had more than 150 plus people that we've seen so far
Yes.
on the stream. Other than like the third at Show Me Your Moves was obviously a great result, but that wasn't
Over
quite
100.
the number of people that we had at
Right.
Midwest Mayhem.
Even some of the players above him, like that's a better placing than
Yeah.
that you'll see, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple at least, yeah.
All right. I think we are making Sage blush too much, so let's keep moving along to another Ignition regular who's going to be coming up next. Panda Bear going to make his second PR? Or is it his third?
I believe it's third.
His third PR?
I think so, yeah.
Coming in at number 13 as the Villager main. What do you guys think of Panda Bear making it?
I mean, Panda Bear,
Yeah.
obviously one of the best players we have, especially his Villager. It's such a good wall to get around.
And he makes Villager like hype too.
Yeah. I never get tired of watching or playing against Panda. It's very different than a lot of Villagers that I've seen. He's had a lot of very strong placements. He beat JJ at Show Me Your Moves. I almost said Endgame again.
Yeah. A few times.
And he beat Trayla. He beat Daybreak with the 0 to death. There's a lot of, and placing very well at most of the Ignitions, a lot of which were very stacked.
Yeah.
He is a very, you see those consistency at Ignitions. Those
Oh,
are
yeah,
all
definitely.
single-digit numbers showing up here. And getting 13th at Show Me Your Moves, beating JJ Rockets. He's another player who I don't think has drowned in a pool.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
have not seen him
wouldn't be
drown.
surprised,
I don't think ever.
So there you, and
Yeah.
that's a nice list of notable wins.
Yeah, and I think on the last PR he was actually inactive.
Yeah, he didn't make it
So-
to enough stuff to be able
so-
to get in.
It's definitely nice to see him be active for
Mhm.
his
Yeah.
PR and make it.
He's been
But,
over the last month or two, he's been kind of more inactive, but it's cool. So that's kind of understandable.
Mhm. That's what's nice about summer seasons.
Yeah.
Summer seasons really let those like we saw Vincent, who's someone who struggled with activity, and that's I think when these kids struggle with activity, they struggle more with making it to a big event more than they
Yeah.
struggle to making it to enough small events.
Yeah, because like for example, Atata, like I said, all his tournaments on his list were all he went to. Technically, he went to plenty that just didn't qualify.
Mhm.
So that was the reason he had such a short list. So that's why we're kind of lenient when it came to that, because there's a lot of PR people don't wind up going to things. That kind of hurts the ability for people to get in. So we basically want to make sure that as many people can get in, can qualify as possible.
Mm-hmm. But he's like I said, he's so fun to watch. He's someone who's always good for an upset every once in a while. I think that he is really close to making it to like the next step, because I'm sure he's hungry. Like we're starting to get to the place where people are super hungry for top 10.
Oh
And like he's super close to just getting, like we see, like he has a good list of notable wins, but he can just get that much closer. I think he's this close. Tech, you had something to say though.
Oh. No, I said I had something to get off my chest, man. Like about that win with Trella, man. I'm gonna be salty for this forever. So Panda Bear, you my boy, but but I'm still mad that this man Trella beats me in a close set, and then he
Very close
forfeits the next round. I'm never not gonna be salty about that. But Panda, you still beat him in that game, so you definitely deserve that win. Just so you know, I'm never not gonna be salty
got
about
a very small asterisk right after it.
And that brings up, like, I think a good point is that, well, first of all, Panda Bear now has a record of frustrating the crap out of Ryu mains,
Oh yeah.
where he did that to, according to the story I heard, was that he did that to Trella, and then Trella just didn't want to play the rest of the set because he knew how much work he'd have to put in
Yeah, he SD'd in
To-
the stock or something
to
like
do
that.
it. And then that happened at Hidden Bosses as well with Extraordinary,
Mm.
where Extraordinary, he kind of hit, well, in a row, Sage and Panda Bear, and he just hit the campy characters, and he was just like,
That's Ryu. though.
Ryu sucks against
Ryu
campy
is-
characters.
Ryu's actually bad when it comes to efficient campers who can also kill with their camping.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't that's why Ryu's such a good character against good character, like the top characters, because most of them aren't effective at camping in that way.
Right.
Whereas Villager and Me Gunner, fantastic at
Or
that.
like Duck Hunter, like random characters, like just happen to have good matchups against like Ryu and stuff like that. But
That's the thing about brackets, is you can't call what's going to happen
Yep.
in them. And as soon as you're like, I'm confident in so many top-tier matchups, except for this one character, you know what character is going to find you at Midwest Mayhem 5 or
always like
whenever.
Yeah.
That's just the way things work in this meta. But speaking of Ryu, we do have a player who may or may not play some DLC coming up next at number 12.
nice segue.
He has at his disposal. Oh, no, the beer!
I feel like both of these characters do. Oh, that'll do it.
Oh my.
Or just not challenge.
Yeah, don't challenge folks. Oh, overhit. Hey, he died. That's unfortunate.
Yes, that back.
The right shore, you well, just the break.
That might have been basic up B.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, please.
Oh my.
The second player sponsored by Events to Compete to make the PR, it is Shell at number 12. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to think about this particular spot on the PR for Shell.
I think Shell kind of suffered from another one of the players that didn't enter enough to have consistent results to put them a bit higher. Because like in terms of, I don't know where he was last PR, but I know he was definitely
fifth,
top
right?
10.
He was fifth.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
fifth. Yeah, like we know Shell. We know recently you saw like Shell double eliminate JJ and like all this stuff. We know Shell's good.
Yeah.
But because school, like I don't blame it at all. Like he didn't come out to too much.
Priorities.
I think like he just went to Endgame and Evo, right? Those are two
Yeah.
big
Those are his
tournaments.
two big ones.
Mm.
And
Yeah, and he didn't do as. That's the thing too. Like when 25th isn't bad at all, but like I'm sure that's not as well as he would have wanted
I think
to
he
do.
also had a rough bracket.
Yeah.
Like I think he was kind of on the upset side.
And that's what can hurt you. Like when you don't go to too many tournaments, like and then you don't do as good as you want, like that can definitely hurt you. And that kind of happened to Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I mean obviously he has won an Ignition.
Yeah.
He won the Lost Ignition.
A lost episode.
Double eliminating JJ there. I think another thing that kind of hurt his Evo a little bit is that like he was seeded to run into anti, and
Yeah.
that's something that happens at national level events. Is
And
sometimes you just hit a giant brick wall.
Yeah, he ran into him round 1 of Wave 2. So he went to losers basically with like whiplash because
After
playing against
beating his pool
anti, yeah.
pretty solidly.
Then we didn't even mention like how this is basically, I guess technically like the first PR where he's been going like solo Ryu for
solo
the most
Ryu
part.
for the most part. Yeah.
Like he was doing a little bit of Ryu last season, but like I guess a little bit of this too is like switching characters. Like it's gonna hurt you a little bit, but I think especially going forward, like he's probably where he wants to be.
He
Yeah.
did
He's still
he did
improving.
use Luigi versus
Yeah.
JJ at that set.
For some
I mean,
matchups, I'm sure he
Luigi,
still
I
uses
think it's
Luigi.
a little bit better of a matchup.
It's a much better matchup.
Because Tornado and all that.
Yeah.
But
But my point was like falling off a little bit is like kind of what you expect to
yeah,
happen.
it
like,
happens
when
for
you
a lot of players
switch
because
lanes.
when you transition to a new character, especially with someone like Shell who's been playing Luigi since day 1,
Yeah.
it's such a big transition to all of a sudden be like, maybe I'm not going to fall back to that Luigi character that I've been falling back to. Or maybe
Yeah.
I have to stick with my guns and just see what happens with
Yeah.
this character. Because that's how you learn or that's how you establish yourself as this is my new main, this is how I'm going to be able to cope. And clutch is something you have to become an expert at.
And then like just learning matchups,
Mhm.
like stuff like that. Playing those matchups, like you're just saying, like I know this matchup with Luigi, but do I know this matchup with Ryu?
Yeah.
Like, now I have to learn this matchup all over again, and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's the thing I would like to bring up, though, about Shell's placement at 12th, is that Shell, first of all, is not someone who's really going to be, like stymied by the fact that he's fallen from 5th all the way to 12th. Like,
No,
he doesn't really put too much, like, stock in the number itself. Like, oh, I need to be top 5 for people to think I'm good.
Yeah.
Which really, like, no one should be too worried about the numbers.
It's
a
exactly the
number
perfect.
game.
That's what I was gonna say. It's the perfect mentality for someone to have. Is like, first of all,
Yeah.
Shell just wants to get better at the game. He doesn't the number is nice,
Yeah.
but it's not something that's gonna stop him. And like you can see, actually, if we cut back to his results real quick here, Mike. Like you see some at these ignitions, you see some like a 7. Well, 7th is a little 13th.
But
at an
7
ignition.
out of 70.
Yeah, I know they're out of big numbers.
Yeah.
But like you see him, like you
13th,
use these weeklies to kind of like tinker around too and experiment.
I believe the 13th he actually ran into Ned in losers because
that was
the Charizard tournament, which Ned was put in losers very early. So I think Shell had to run into Ned very early, like relative at that point.
Well, my point here is
Yeah.
that like sometimes he has these 9th and 13th weeklies and he just doesn't let them. Like every time he like maybe like finishes a little worse than he predicted to or projected to.
Yeah.
It doesn't really like set him back. Like he's just like, oh, that happened. This is a game I'm learning.
Yep.
And
Here's another Instagram video for you all.
Yeah, it's a great mentality to have, and this is I think the exact mentality that people who are on the PR and may have fallen, or people who are still looking to get on the PR, should have. Is that this is just like an exercise. Like the number isn't your worth, and not being on the PR does not necessarily mean that you're not a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that this is like objectively the results that we came to.
You can see a slogan there: "Stay humble, esports."
Stay humble, esports. All right. Speaking of humble, this is another player who kind of about PRs he kind of hit this wall for a while. He's starting to break out a little bit. Let's see who's coming up next at number 11.
Segways.
host for.
Wasn't very cool.
SlowJoe finally breaks his 16th curse.
Yeah.
He's gonna make it up to number 11
Almost
on
in
the
that
summer
top
PR.
10.
Yeah, he's this close, and that's he's just gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I could break top 15, and now I'm like this close to top 10. That's.
Hey, I mean, dancing.
He had a good season though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really did. I think SlowJoe is like one of the main examples of like steady improvement. Like he started off like around like the same time that I did. Like I used to bop this guy all the time. Like he was free. And then he got a lot better every PR. He got a little bit higher. I guess maybe not as fast as he wanted to go up, but like he's definitely showing improvement. Number 11 right now, and definitely on the way up.
He has a very impressive list of tournament finishes here. Very good finishes at Ignition. And the number that really stands out though is that finish at Abadango Saga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also very important to note, at Abadango Saga, it was 1-1 against Komo Akiri, and he almost beat Komo Akiri, but he had a missed input, and he died at like 30 or 40 from a down air.
Yeah,
so he almost had Komo Akiri, which would have been a big notable win for him.
That is kind of just a trait of Fox, though, is that he's kind of that glass cannon. It's really like when you're playing with a character that's so fast and so explosive, like you really need to hone in and like have control of the character. And sometimes if you lose control and miss input like that, it can cost you big.
Oh yeah.
SlowJoe is one of the Fox masters in our scene, though. We see this long list of notable wins against great players in our scene.
Obviously, having some of the best mobility out of basically, I think, all of Chicago.
Yeah. Known for a while, like the perfect pivot guide.
Yeah. Still probably one of the best perfect pivot users, just in general, neutral.
And one of the best pop-offs that we have in our scene, of course.
Oh yeah.
He is PR'd for that.
He's PR'd in SoCal for his pop-offs.
Oh yeah, he actually is. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's nice to see SlowJoe up there, getting better.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Like you said, this is just like a great example of steady improvement. This is over a year and a half's worth of PRs that he's finally breaking through that mold and finally making it, and he's this close to top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really just there are some players that are above him that either had explosive improvement or, you know, they're like the ones that are just consistently destroying other top players or, you know, it's not like SlowJoe isn't doing fantastically. It's just, you know, he has to get that nice little next step to get just barely in there because he's right there. He's right at the precipice.
Speaking of that, we have another player coming in at number 10 who has been on like the brink of just making it into top 10, and he will finally have his day here. I'm excited to show you guys who is coming up next.
Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side!
Dom has been hanging out at like number 11, number 12 for like a long time.
Yeah.
And he will finally break into the top 10 on this PR. What do you guys think?
Well, last season he didn't even make it to the PR. He was having kind of a rough season the previous season.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so this season, I mean, his very first tournament of the season, our very first tournament of the entire season, was when 6WX and Hugo were here, and he was the top placing Chicago, and he got third place at that tournament.
Right, and he like you're right. He wasn't even PR.
No.
He was
so
just
when
showed up.
I saw that, I was just like, this is Dom's season. I knew it immediately.
Yeah.
That he was going to be in top 10, most likely.
It's nice to see Dom like doing well because like, you know, Dom's one of the players that like he'll tell you like Dom's actually hilarious. Like he'll tell you like he's one of the guys who be like, I am so good. Like I am really good. Why am I so good? And like you say, I deserve to be here. Like I deserve to be. I should be beating this person. I should be beating this person. And like it's nice to see him finally getting there and like beating the people he's supposed to be beating. Like getting upsets, doing things like that.
Yeah, beating JJ round 1 in top 32 at Show Me Your Moves would have been the biggest upset of the entire tournament, but then Atata came in and just upset City.
Yeah.
But that was such a massive upset because, you know, he basically stole JJ's 1 seed and ran with it. He actually plays fairly well, and like he's just been on fire. His ignition placings have been like super consistent.
Yeah, and like even in the beginning of the season, like we're thinking like man, Dom's looking to probably finally get top 10.
Yeah,
and like it's nice to see that he did it.
This is another player who, like you see, consistent top 32s at Endgame and Midwest Mayhem 4. And that 65th was kind of like this plateau that like the best Chicagoans hit at Big House 6. And he definitely reached there. I couldn't tell you who he lost to, though, at Big House.
Not sure off the top of my
You know off the top of your head?
Chat will let us know.
Chat will let us know. Sage
After
will,
15 seconds.
Sage will ping me after chat lets us know. But he had, like we said, he had a fantastic season. Lots of great wins and a lot of great consistency.
Yeah,
and that's what we love to see.
Let's see, JJ, Ned, Green Beast, Crow, Big Mac, and one that I actually don't have on here is EMP Eevee, I believe his name, or Eevee. Emperor Eevee.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, according to SlowJoe, that's one of Fox's worst matchups. Arguable, but
Arguable.
I don't know. Well, I'd have to ask if he went Kirby or Bayonetta.
No,
he went Kirby. It was on stream.
I commentated that match,
but it was basically Dom played that matchup so flawlessly because basically what you have to do is you have to be very patient to the point where it's uncomfortable, and he was able to clutch it out, and it was a very exciting match to watch.
I want to make a point, though, that I don't think anyone brought up, and I don't think he listed his secondary, but his Cloud did come up kind of big.
Oh, yeah. True.
At
Endgame.
At Endgame.
Yeah,
he has a legit Cloud. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did see him using it at Ignition.
He has a very legit Cloud, and that is maybe the era of DLC, but you have to respect when you see a good player playing a good character no matter what, whether it's DLC or if it's just Fox.
And I mean, Cloud does help with some matchups, which that's understandable to have. At this point, you know, most players are going to have some kind of secondary to just.
Yeah.
Every character has a problem.
Even if it's like 1 or 2 matchups, like there's nothing wrong with having a secondary for those trouble matchups.
Certainly. I think the next player on our PR doesn't have a strict secondary. I know he plays a couple of other characters sometimes, but most of the time he's just going to be rocking the $5.99. Let's see who's next. The third member of E2C to make it onto the PR, that is Bushi. Coming in at number 9 once again.
Yep, same place.
Consistency.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. He's had some pretty solid, strong results. Getting, I believe, 13th at Endgame and 65th at SmashCon.
I think he beat Max Ketchum.
Yes, he beat Max Ketchum at Endgame.
He had another, I think, a kind of a quietly consistent season when it comes to monthly placings.
Yes. He has beaten a lot of solid, good names. He's beaten Tyroy. He's beaten JJ. He's beaten Big Mac.
JJ
Max,
was a demon for him for a long time.
Yeah,
oh yes,
that's true.
And
for a while he didn't he was barely taking games off him. And now to take a couple sets, that's pretty impressive.
And Bushi is one of the we've been talking about how every character has a problem. Every character can't be solo mained. Bushi is one of the primary advocates that Bayonetta can be solo mained. Bayonetta loses no matchups. Speaking of character confidence,
yes,
that's Bushi in a nutshell. He loves his character,
and he labs a lot.
He's got a win at CAC Smash number 2. He's got a win at Papa Creek.
He's got a win at Smash at IIT, a few of them.
Yeah.
And he's his few Ignition placings, he placed very high as well.
Indeed. And SmashCon is an impressive result for sure. I think that's his only national he went to.
Yes.
He was able to go to a Super SmashCon.
Yeah.
But 13th at Endgame is definitely like the crown jewel of his placings, getting a top 16 result for him.
Especially with taking out Max Ketchum, who at that tournament was actually pretty hot. He was doing really well at that tournament.
Coming off getting, did they win or get second in doubles?
Second, I think.
Yeah, I think they.
To Ally and.
Did they reset?
2K?
Yeah,
I think they reset.
yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think they did. Like
Ally, who's in the chat, let us know.
But,
yeah, that was a good tournament for him, and he's continuing like to have a great season, and he's gonna carry that momentum over to the fall season.
Yep, and now we're moving on to top 8.
Yeah, there you go. Top 8 here
Top 8.
at Ignition on Monday. That's a weird week. This is our PR we have so far. A couple of great organizations represented: E2C, UR, WIT, Vincent Games.
Vincent Games. Oh yeah.
And I think I'm just going to let the tension build
and
up
Virtue.
a little here. And Virtue. We don't have a graphic for them, unfortunately. We're going to be getting into the meat and potatoes. This is where it gets fun. And I don't think anyone's really going to be able to guess who's number 8. So let's go. That is that with a shield poke. The up tilt that followed that down there. Yeah. He's really feeling himself right now. The up air. SD. Uh-oh. Oh my god! E2C Seth making top 8 on the PR with the worst character in the game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see Seth on the PR again. Because, Seth for a while, like, he had that one, what was it, Dismantle 1?
I don't want to talk about that because I played him in my pool.
Random
massive
tournament
upsets
where
and
he,
just
like,
never showed up again for, like, 4 months
Seth
afterwards.
was a legend for, like, the longest time. Like, he went to this one tournament, bodied everybody. We never heard of him again, and then like he starts coming out more consistently like a year later, and then like he was on the last PR, and like now he's still going up, and it's definitely nice to see. He's one of the Southside boys, I got love for Seth.
Seth's got a very great upward trend going into the fall season. This man has been on a tear.
Oh yeah,
even winning the most recent Southside tournament, E2C Arena.
E2C Arena, yeah.
That one was not taken into account, by the way, on this PR.
No, of course not. But that's also the upward trend that we'd like to focus on sometimes. Is he's been very strong, and he's the best Yoshi, one of the best Yoshis in the Midwest, if not the best.
Oh yeah,
I'd argue the best. And his setups are, you saw that combo.
His frame trapping is amazing. Like the way he frame traps you with eggs, he frame traps you with aerials, and he can just put so much pressure on you with this little black dinosaur here. And again, look at this consistency. Like this is another player who might be only not as much as like a Atata per se, but he was penalized a little bit for not going to as many tournaments as some of the other players. But 17th at Endgame is a fantastic result. Top 8 at Show Me Your Moves, and that ended in a Game 5 last hit set with Tyroy.
Tyroy, yes.
And I definitely think Seth, he's like one of the biggest like wild card players like in Chicago. Like when he goes to a tournament, like I have no idea like how good he's gonna do, like what upsets he's gonna get. And, like it happens consistently.
But he's gonna at least get at least one.
Oh yeah. That's why it is. Like with this character we don't see too much. Like we don't know too much, and like he gets like all these. Yeah, sorry. Anymore, because we don't see too much anymore. And like he always does really well.
I mean, he's got sets on Knight. He's got sets on Bushi, who he played regularly at the Smash IIT tournaments.
Yeah.
And getting second place at 2 of the E2C arenas and winning one recently.
Right.
So that's a big deal, and we had to take that into account for sure.
I can't wait to see him go to more and more tournaments. So
Yeah.
hopefully that will be something that he can actually accommodate, because he is another one of those players who's very young.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
He might be the youngest. Let me scroll here. Yeah, I think he is the youngest player that is this high.
Yes.
He's like only, I think, 15 years old.
Yeah, I believe only Atata is younger than him.
Yeah, Atata is younger than him, but this is definitely the highest, youngest player we have.
Yeah.
We do have some players in high school remaining, I believe.
Part of the young blood movement.
And yeah, these guys they're young. They just grind Wi-Fi for aeons and aeons. Like Seth is good friends with Dark Wizzy, and he grinds that matchup with him on the line.
Seth, he tells me like he plays with all type of people on Wi-Fi. Like one time we were getting a ride somewhere. He's oh yeah man, I play with the Buzz. Like I play with everybody. I'm like whoa, let me get his NNID. What's going on? Yeah, Seth, he's definitely like a Wi-Fi warrior.
And again, just showing that repetition is gonna really take you places. And we see him vault, I think, 5 spots from the last PR. He was either 12th or 13th on the last one.
Oh, like who went?
He went up.
He improved.
Yeah, he vaulted over 5 spots.
Yeah, I believe it was 5 spots, yeah.
So that's good for him. Congratulations on breaking into the top 10. Hopefully we see more and more great results from him in the future. While Seth is a relative newcomer to the PR, this next player coming up has seen quite a few PRs in his day, although now he is on this PR with a new sponsor. Check it out.
That was godlike.
Okay, so you put Mewtwo as his main, Fox as secondary, but then you put like 87 Fox clips on his highlight reel. There you go. That's the question of Demitis, though. Is what character does he really play at this point?
And that's
it's like 100% Fox almost.
That's one of the most impressive things about Demitis. Like Demitis, I think of all the players on the PR, like he's gone through like so many characters. He started off with Falcon, then he went Meta Knight, and I remember he was playing like Greninja for like a week.
Oh yeah, I remember that week.
like Mewtwo, Fox.
He beat me with Greninja. We don't talk about that.
And he gets good with all of them.
Yeah, and he has consistent results with him. Like probably a little bit lower than he might want to be right now, but like once he gets a little bit more comfortable with his main Fox and secondary Mewtwo, like I'm sure you'll see him do better.
I mean, he has jumped up 4 slots from where he was before. He was number 11 last season. And so this is, I think now he's a lot more comfortable with the characters that he's playing, because I don't think he just doesn't think that his Captain Falcon or Captain Falcon in general just won't be able to reach that precipice. So now he's using, characters that he feels, 1, suits his play style, and 2, that can compete with the big names.
Yeah.
And having the pair of very viable characters is definitely important as well. Being able to switch out within matchups. Although I do think at Big House,
Yeah,
he went just 100% Fox.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see him just go more and more in Fox. But that's kind of like the way his mind works. Is he just wants to grind the game and the matchups, regardless of if it's good or bad. Kind of like the way we talked about Shell previously.
Yeah.
And like we thought that his finishes at like Show Me Your Moves and Endgame were pretty impressive. Getting 9th was very big, and I think he beat Knight to get there as well. I think we would have liked to see him do a little bit better at those nationals. Like like getting like when we saw like Naoto getting 129th at Evo. Like that was very impressive. But I think that's about where we expected him to place. Like, and this is like we want Midas to really take that next step, move forward, and like get into that next big precipice. And I think we can see him do that.
Yeah,
he's definitely capable.
The Midas to keep going up.
I also think that he's definitely on an upward trend right now. Like right now, he's taking names at a lot of tournaments.
Oh yeah, and like for example, JJ, he's beaten Tyroy, Knight, Dan, all these big names in Chicago. He's beaten True Blue.
And that's nothing new. Like that's something that you'll probably see every PR. Like you'll always have those notable wins. So, like on top Chicago players. He's one of the players that can probably beat anyone from like top to bottom of the top 10.
Oh yeah,
and like he'll tell.
We'll be seeing that for pretty much every player at this point.
And like he'll tell you though, like he knows that he's this close.
Yeah.
Like he was this close to taking that set on Saj, that we saw that hype combo to finish off the 2-stock in his highlight reel. Like he knows he's this close, and that would have changed his entire. Big house run. Yeah. And like it's really just about taking that next step, and we know he's totally capable of doing it. All right. I think that'll wrap that up for Midas.
Congratulations getting 7th place.
Yeah, congratulations for 7th.
7th place, I guess 7th place. we are in Ignition.
Yeah, 7th at Ignition on Monday. Coming in right ahead of him is going to be a former teammate and someone who's definitely a friend.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, that's a good equalizer. They're getting dangerous. That's dead.
The Love Live master himself, Knight. Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you're in the chat watching. He's going to come in at number 6 on the PR. And I'm curious what your guys' thoughts is on that.
Yeah, I definitely think Knight, he's one of those players that's like his placing on the PR from like 3 to like 6 or where he's at right now, or like 2, like anywhere he's at, is really just based on how well he does at the big tournaments. Because he has obviously the potential to be anywhere in that top 5 spot, top 7, whatever. But like,
and like every time he goes to any big like local tournament, he's basically going to place top 3. Yeah, it's very consistent in that situation. He hasn't been going out to as many large tournaments in Chicago, but when he does go to stuff, I mean, he was, I believe, he got 49th, which I think is the second highest in Chicago.
Yeah, I think that's like the real deal breaker between Knight and Midas in this spot is that Knight has that super impressive finish at Evo. Yeah, finishing I think the highest of the GGA players.
Yeah. Yes. Although all the rest of the GGA getting taken out by one player by Day. So
Day the GGA Slayer.
Yeah. He got 49th at Evo, got 3rd at one of the bigger constructs, the biggest construct I think of the season.
And wasn't that like a losing to like Dan and JJ?
And I mean placing 17th at Endgame?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17th at Endgame. So very strong major results, which again will help with getting being placed in the PR.
And of course, he's ever so famous for his cutie posts. And
Oh yeah.
Sage with the excellent choice of Soldier Game coming out, for the highlight reel. That remix was actually pretty hype. I'm down with that. But I digress. There you go. We have our all the way up to our top 5, but we have not quite broken into that yet. This is where it gets really exciting. So I'm not gonna wait any longer. Let's get to number 5.
You win. Oh,
And
never mind.
that's going to be it.
And Big Mac wins.
There it is. Big Mac gonna make it at number 5. I think you put like 1 or 2 of those knees like in there twice. I think 1 or 2 of them was in there twice. Because he ended at 55% on two of them. I don't remember
He's
which
just
one.
consistent.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah.
There you go.
He knows those percents, man.
Knows that down throw needed percent on Rosalina. So there you have it.
Yeah, Big Mac, I think, just like SlowJoe, like I said before, he's one of the players that definitely showed like steady improvement. Like, I was actually joking when I said SlowJoe was a scrub, like, starting off. But Big Mac, he actually was.
Big Mac was a scrub early on.
Big Mac has
He
come.
will not deny that, too.
Big Mac has come a long way from someone who used to consistently lose to me. So congratulations for making it past the scrubby Sturmy losses and moving all the way to top 5 in
I beat him
Chicago.
back in the day because he left when we had to play for 5th place, and I just got the free money.
Big Mac lost to Genkin. Let's throw that out there.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh my gosh, he did. Oh man. Okay, now I know what I'm never gonna let him live down. But look at these results on the 65th at Big House is very impressive. Evo, I don't remember what happened to him in Evo.
He got a really rough bracket.
He's one of the first people to tell you that he is the king of getting rough brackets.
Yeah,
And
Big House, I believe he ran into some major upsets.
he ran into Larry Lur. I know that. That's who he lost to. in
Or he
losers.
was going to run into Larry Lur next.
Oh no, he lost to Ryuga there.
Yeah.
Beat Ryuga at Endgame. That's
Yeah.
where the notable win comes from. And of course, he has wins on many of the great players from Chicago.
One of the most consistent players against JJ.
Oh, yeah. He has a winning record in that season, I believe.
I believe
against
so.
JJ.
Yes, with the Sheik. The Falcon only came out, I believe, for that you see that Ignition 47 win
Yeah.
that he found. It was just him and Knight, I believe, 1 and 2 seeds, and
Yes.
the Falcon came to play.
And I think that was the
That
first
day.
one he won, too. The first
Yes, it
edition
was
that he
first.
won.
Well, it was the second one that he won because the
Yeah.
first one didn't technically have enough people
For PR qualification?
For PR qualification, but it was also that was when like the Armageddon was coming, the giant storm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. that man.
Classic.
You guys get so much rain on Wednesdays.
Classic Ignite curse.
So much rain. But there you have it. That is going to be Big Mac making 5th. He breaks into top 5.
Yeah, and he picked up Captain Falcon just recently. Well, he's been working on his Falcon, but he really wanted to have a secondary just because he doesn't really like, Sheik versus Rosalina, which we saw he's using Falcons especially for Rosalina just because Falcon can actually compete with that character, whereas he doesn't think Sheik has a chance against people who know that matchup.
I have a little story for you guys on Big Mac about his Captain Falcon. The reason Big Mac picked up Captain Falcon back in the day was because he got crapped on by Xion, and Xion talked a bunch of trash.
way back in the day.
He determined that next time he ran into Xion, he would Falcon Ditto him, and he wanted to crap on him back. And he still has yet to run into Xion.
You'll be dipping, man.
The classic Dip City, USA.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Xion special.
that's a 10-0 matchup, just not going to tournaments.
Yeah.
When someone's salty at you.
You won't lose if you don't go.
You won't lose.
Yeah, man.
And then the next player that's coming up on this PR, he does not lose very often.
No.
And he's formerly placed very high on our PRs in the past.
As high as you can get.
And we'll see here who's coming up next.
It's me, Mario!
There you have it. Dan is going to finish off at number 4 here. And speaking of those players with upward momentum, he has a bunch of it going into this next season.
He, he's actually he overheard our conversation. He knew he was going to get here. But he's one of those players that whenever he does show up, especially when he's at that level, he's one of the best Marios in the world.
Oh yeah. He plays so well, and like he plays so consistently well. It's like a quiet consistency. Like I feel like up into the PR season, there wasn't like too much hype about Dan compared to some of the other players who are going to make the PR. And then we looked at his results, and we're just like, this is it. He just belongs here. I think wasn't Dan consensus number 4?
Yes, he was consensus. Almost everybody had him at number 4.
Yeah, that 7th place at Endgame definitely was probably the big thing.
Yeah, beating, I believe, Scorpio, beating
Demitis.
Yeti. Yeti was a big, Big Mac and I, we were on the panel, we both lost to Yeti, and we were both like, Yeti is the best Toon Link we've ever seen. His bomb control is next level, and the fact that Dan was able to beat him pretty soundly, too, was actually a really big deal, and beating Zane to get, I believe, into his 7th spot.
Top 8.
And also finishing second, tied for second best out of the Chicago players at Big House 6. With that 49th place, losing to Fatality and Losers. And if you saw Fatality that day, like, that was the best I've ever seen Fatality play. So definitely no shame in losing to Fatality on that particular day, because that man was bad out of hell.
Also, winning the first E2C Arena, which was actually a pretty stacked tournament.
Yeah.
So that was actually a really big deal. It's Mario, and he's been using Rosalina a lot lately.
Yes.
Mostly, obviously, it's one of his best secondaries. Almost as good as his Mario, honestly.
His Rosa is very impressive.
Yeah. And a lot of times he'd actually have to leave tournaments early, so he'd go Rosalina in bracket, and then he wouldn't lose with Rosalina. So he'd just keep staying in bracket, and he'd just leave because, I'm still in, I have to go, so I'm just going to leave.
This is Dan, again, he's another player who has a new sponsor here. He's been picked up by Events to Compete. He is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, is that the most? The most out of anyone?
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty good.
E2C Army.
That E2C team, they're pretty good at this game. Except for me. I will openly admit that I am not good at this game. But there you have it. Dan's going to finish at number 4. Like we said, unanimous here. And now I think that even though Dan had like a super strong season and like he really played super well, I think that these next 3 are kind of in a tier of their own a little bit. Although Dan was very close to breaking into that tier.
Yes.
If not, he was in it.
And on top of that, like Dan, he's the type of player, like potential-wise, to be anywhere on the PR. Like he was one at one point.
Yeah.
And so like
he was number 1. Pretty much everyone's been number 1, but at this point.
Yeah, and like Dan, he's good enough to be number 1 again. So like for the next PR, like who knows? Like maybe he'll be number 1 again.
And this is going to be a very heated season with all these big tournaments coming up in December. So it's going to be a big season this season.
Yeah, you guys thought there'd be an off season for Smash Brothers? No, there's no
Never.
off season. There's just event after event after event after event. We've got like Kings of the North. We got, of course, Midwest Mayhem 5 is this weekend. If you haven't registered, you'll
Get on it now. We got
UGC in St. Louis, $40,000 pop bonus event, and we've got Showdown in Michigan, and then like Frostbite 2 Electric Boogaloo coming up.
That's in February though, so
that's a ways away.
Yeah.
We've got plenty, and there might be another Midwest Mayhem in between now and then, but you didn't hear that from me. So anyway, let's. That was a tirade, but let me get on to this next player, who is number 3. The final E2C member to make this edition of the PR is going to be E2C's Tyroy. And he had a very impressive season of his own.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He because he had to leave for school this last couple of months, but before that he was just on a tear through everything, beating Pink Fresh with his old main, using his colors too. Pink Fresh stole his colors, beating Fatality.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
That's an impressive
beating
win.
Blood Cross at Evo, in which apparently Blood Cross was not very happy about that loss.
Blood Cross is just not really very happy. You could just end the sentence.
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely nice to see Tyroy doing well, because I think around the beginning of the season was when the nerfs to Bayonetta happened, right? Or was
It was the previous, because Tyroy was number one. Tyroy was number 1 before the nerfs, and then after the nerfs, it was a JJ number 1.
But yeah, either way, seeing Tyroy come to see what characters you want to use, because I don't know, for a little while, I feel like he didn't even know who he wanted to use.
Right.
It's nice to see he gone back to the Bayo, and you still see the Meta Knight and the Sheik.
Yeah, he's always kind of had a semi-character crisis.
Yeah.
But the benefit of his character crisis is they always wind up being good character crises. Sheik, Meta Knight, Bayo, he has a Mario, he has a Fox.
Yeah, I don't know how much Sheik he actually ended up playing this season. I know he played Sheik at Midwest Mayhem 4, for sure. I don't remember how much work the Sheik ended up doing for him in that bracket, off the top of my head. But although that is an important thing to note, though, is he was the highest placing Chicagoan in Midwest Mayhem 4, a tournament where we just kind of generally got bopped.
Yeah.
Really hard. That was kind of maybe Chicago's worst finish at a Chicago tournament in a long time. But Tyroy still was able to make top 8 there. I think he beat Ned.
Yes, he beat Ned to get the 7th spot.
Mm-hmm. And that's important, being able to defend your state, making sure that we can finish in the top 8, even though I think we are getting closer and closer and closer to being able to take a Midwest Mayhem. The closest was Knight at Midwest Mayhem 3.
You're getting second place.
But that I mean, again, just like you can't really blame Dan for losing a Fatality at Big House, you can't really blame Knight for losing to False at that tournament. False was just playing amazing.
Yeah, and also Tyroy, again, tying for the second highest placing at Evo out of all the Chicagoans, getting 49th spots. So that's a very big deal. That's obviously going to be weighted much more heavily in comparison to other tournaments, just because it's Evo. There's 2,600 people that went to it.
Yeah, now that Chicago is really starting to travel to these national tournaments, we didn't really do that very much in 2015. We just really had our own tournaments and our own whatever results we got against each other to go off of at E2Cs. But now that we're starting to really go to nationals, those are definitely very important. And Tyra was able to show up, getting top 64 out of 2,700 people.
Yeah.
Which is the largest Smash Bros. Tournament in history. And that definitely matters.
And getting a second place at Proving Ground, only, I believe, losing to DeBuzz, who was there.
JJ made... I actually did not look at the bracket for that. JJ made winners finals, and then Tyra made grands. So that would mean Tyra lost to someone else.
Yeah.
Or unless he was like 4th seed, and then he lost to DeBuzz, and then DeBuzz again. So I actually don't know that off the top of my head. But I digress. Tyra, congrats on another great season. You're going to be finishing at number 30 on our PR. Time to get a move on, and let's go take a look at who is the penultimate member.
I bet once he got...
JJ. Oh, yeah. Slippy slap.
Congratulations to JJ Rockets for making second on the PR this season. And thanks to UR for having some godlike emotes, as always. They're really on top of their game. Guys, JJ Rockets is the most prolific tournament goer of any Smash 4 player
in the world.
Probably. He knows the number offhand. It's like 310 probably at this point over the life of Smash for Wii U.
You can see it all on his website, jjrockets.com.
Yeah,
the plugs.
I remember when you told me to check JJ's blog for like something, and then like I was like, okay, let me go look it up. And it was like actually jjrockets.com.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, this is legit. Okay.
You just go to his resume. It's like, oh my gosh, this list is huge.
Yeah.
He has been to many a tournament, and the consistency has just increased over time as he's been going to more and more of these. Like
he went to Nebraska. He went to Colorado.
Oh yeah.
He's seen the world.
He went to so many tournaments that I had to talk to JJ and ask him, which ones are the best, because it was so hard to pick from all the big tournaments that he went to. Like he placed decently at
you see. First of all, just note that there are no weeklies on here.
Yes.
Well, one is a weekly. But that was Little Big House.
Yes.
And that's not exactly like a normal weekly. That's like
where he got his wins
deal.
on Komori, Ki, and Shogun. Like very big wins there.
Beating 3 Japanese players at the Little Big House 2. And getting a strong finish at Nexus, strong finish at Revelation 2016. And that one he only lost to, I think, who was there? It was Fallen and...
Oh, Fallen, I think, dropped early, actually.
Oh, no, it wasn't Fallen. It was Vinny for sure.
Vinny was, the first place, I think, there.
I don't remember who it was.
But I know at basically every big tournament here, especially when he has, like, small numbers, like when he's top 3 or top 4, all the people above him are, like, those next-level players that it's just so hard to, they're like, they play every day. They play, I guess I can't say that JJ plays every day. Like, they're just, like, the professionals.
The best of the best.
Yeah, the best of the best.
Yeah, for sure. The one, this list of tournaments is so impressive. But like, if you had to find like a black spot, it would be that Evo finish. But I think he was he the start of Day's reign of vengeance at that. Like he did lose to Day.
I believe yes, he was one of the targets of Day.
Yeah, I mean, again, you cannot blame someone for losing to Day when Day went on to top 16 Evo. Like that man was on a roll.
I believe then Day beat Demitis and then Dan. So it was basically like their placings at Evo were directly tied to the same
losing
person.
a Day.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Now that was after Day lost to 0.
Yes, I believe so.
Or no, Day beat
No,
Zero.
Day beat 0.
Yeah, Day beat 0 at that one.
Yes.
Okay. And then he lost later. But like I said, if you had to find a black spot, it would be that big or that Evo finish. And the rest of them are just super impressive.
Yeah, and also very noteworthy to mention, Mike, if you could switch back over to his results. 0 Chicago players on his notable wins, other than Akira, who's technically more Wisconsin. But no reason really to list all the Chicago players because we all know he's beaten every Chicago player at a few times.
Yeah,
So we may as well focus on his international stuff where he's beaten Hyuga, the Toon Link Supreme, he's beaten Komercury, he's beaten Darkshad, he beat Frozen, who I believe put ESAM in losers at Big House. So he's had so many notable wins that it's such a big deal, and that's especially why he's number 2.
And this is the thing is like when we were talking about how we're starting to get a lot more national recognition as a scene, and that's what it's going to come down to is like getting big wins consistently against out-of-state threats, and like all the state versus state battles, of course, matter. Like head-to-heads definitely come into account here, and I do think that is a factor for who ended up being number 1 as well, even though that might be 60-40% in favor of the person who's number 1. But like being able to just break out like that at a national level, and we're all so close to just having I know those results look super impressive, especially like the 13th at Shine. That's like JJ's best result, I think, at a large tournament.
one. Yeah, it definitely is.
But even then, he'll tell you that he's capable of more, and he's so close to just breaking that precipice and becoming one of the greatest players Chicago's ever seen.
Also, one of the few survivors of that wacky Ignition 50, in which
everyone was upset.
Yeah, which there were so many upsets at that tournament, but he was the only, I think it was only him and I believe Knight that really survived that on FaZe.
It's because all the upsets happened on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
His side was completely normal, and the other side was completely messed up.
It was like he played like Knight in winter
like
semis, and then it was like
Snoofle
played I don't even know, Naoto, right?
Yeah. And that was a big
when
upset.
like Ned was on that side, when like Midas was on that side, like there were so many people on that.
Yeah.
I don't think Midas was there, but there's like someone on that side that was also really
Dom.
good.
I know Dom was there.
Dom, yeah. But that is only like we're throwing so much praise for JJ Rockets, and we love JJ, and we know he's a fantastic player, but he's not even number 1 on this PR.
I wonder who it could be.
I'm sure you guys may have already made a guess as to who's number 1. Oh my god. Ned. And there it is. Ned finally breaks through. He finds the spot where I think he knows he could have been the entire time. Number 1 on the Chicago Smash 4 Power Rankings.
And he's been dancing by that number 1 spot for so long. And especially, it's been, I think, this is basically like the year anniversary of him showing up at the scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember about when Ignition started, he was like this no-name, like, who's this random guy that's beating all these GGA players? Like, he's like, he must be like some random person. And now he's our number 1 player.
I remember when people were like, is Ned legit? Ned's not legit. I don't know.
Oh, like, just wait till I play him against him in bracket. Oh, I lost.
It's like, oh wow, he 2-0'd me, double 2 stock.
I remember like it was one of the E2Cs or something like that. It was like I think it was like the first E2C that Ned entered, and like he beat Bo.
Yeah.
Bo was like really upset, and I was like, Ned, he's pretty good, man. Like I don't know, like you shouldn't be that upset. But yeah, it's definitely Ned's come a long way. and it's just nice to see him finally get that #1 spot. Because like, there's a few times where it seemed like he was gonna get it, and then like Tyro went crazy.
And pre-patch
with
Tyro
Bayo,
happened.
and then like JJ went like on a tear, like another season. Like,
After we put him at like 7th place, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna be #1 now."
yeah,
Right. Tyro, or I'm sorry, Tyro. I don't know why he was on my mind. But Ned is another one of those players who's made that transition from Wi-Fi warrior to regular tournament goer to regular placer to like he's climbed the entire rung.
Yeah.
In an incredibly short amount of time, just a year.
Yeah,
like
only
you
a
said.
year, yeah.
And I mean, I think it was unanimous. Ned #1.
Oh, it
JJ
was
#2.
so unanimous that when I collected everyone's numbers for the voting, I just automatically put everyone at 1 for Ned because I was like, everyone's gonna put Ned at #1 because he got top 32 at Evo. That's such a big deal, even though there's no footage of it, sadly. But he got top 32 at Evo, and you can't like that's at the largest tournament of I think ever. I think the #1 tournament that's ever happened for Smash 4. He was able to break into the top 32, and we were so proud of him. Like we finally got that like Chicago representation at a tournament that big. And, he's played so well at other tournaments. He was top placer, I believe, the top Chicago in an endgame.
Yeah.
Won Show Me Your Moves over Renegade. So he's just been having such a hot season. And he's really not, like, slowed down from there.
Yeah.
No.
And even now, like, just with the invasion and all that, like, now he's going to have even more notable wins on his list.
He's beaten, taking a game set off Karna, off of Dyer.
Yeah, he has not taken a set off Karna.
He took
no,
a
he
set
didn't.
off.
He didn't take a single
It was
set.
Wadi.
He played like Bayonetta or something, and he did not beat
Ignition.
Karna.
Then he won. He took a set off Karna at Poplar.
He didn't
Wait,
go
who
to that.
won-
He
who
didn't go to
won
that Poplar. Karna won Poplar. Didn't drop a set.
Oh, I got my information wrong. Sorry, folks. But
he took
still,
a set off of Wadi in Grand
That's
set
what
1.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And,
I got them
he
mixed up.
lost set 2, which I think it was like game 5 too in set 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Then you got the
then he was
Dyer.
able to beat Dyer.
Oh,
6-0.
Dan and JJ. Dan was the one that beat.
Yeah, Dan and
Karna.
JJ were
Yeah.
the ones who beat Karna at
That's what it was. Sorry, folks.
Ignition. But that's again, Invasion is all coming up for the next season. So that's the work we're going to be
So
starting.
let's
putting
see
in.
let's see what he got. See
Yeah.
his list.
And I think, like you said, those results are certainly going to come down to the.
I'm actually having issues. Tech
can't-
issues. We're frozen on this screen, so you're gonna
Oh,
have
fun
to, you're
times.
gonna have to hang out.
All right, so
Pull it up.
Yeah,
we are
I'll
frozen.
let
I got
you read it.
I got it right now.
But like we said, I think that the most important result is that 25th at Evo, and that's so big.
Yeah,
Exactly what
he
set him
got
apart.
25th at Evo. He got 49th at Big House, losing to an upset Esam who lost to Frozen. And that's one of those matchups that just you're either gonna die at 20 or you're gonna win. Getting 5th at Endgame, highest placing in Chicago. Midwest Man 4 was 9th out of 230, the second highest in Chicago. Show Me Your Moves, he won. And Rebirth, he got 5th underneath some really high-level players.
Give me that list of notable wins real quick.
Oh, yes, let's get the notable wins. He has Nakat, Raito, a Japanese player, Nasubi, the Japanese Wario player, Tyroi, Renegade, Darkshad, Pow Pow, Taka, and Nero.
It's a very impressive list. And like you said, he's not really one to get like too upset. Like he doesn't get upset too often, and when he does, it's like in those weird circumstances. It's either in those weird circumstances where it's like a tournament where everyone's getting upset, and then he just like goes, or he like goes Bayonetta or something.
Yeah.
Stuff like that at Ignitions, and then B, in the other circumstances, he wins the tournament anyway.
Yeah.
He just like that's what happened at Show Me Your Moves. He got upset by Atata, got 3-0'd, and then he was just like, I'm gonna play ZSS now and just go everywhere on your shield and just go left, right, up, down, crazy. Like, and that is definitely another thing that's important to mention is his movement. It's like so clean.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he has the best mobility out of all Clouds. It's either him or Cole Mercury, but his movement with Cloud is insane. Like it's also spawned because of back in the day when he started learning Cloud. He used to, he was always told like, oh, you're too aggressive with your Cloud. You need to be more patient. You need to just slow down. And I remember him talking to me at one point where he was just saying like, I need to learn how to, be more defensive. But I think in the end, instead, he just wound up going way more on the offense, where he's just like, I'm going to space you so perfectly that it's going to be pressure, safe pressure, and if I hit you, here comes another follow-up.
Mm-hmm. That's the way he frame traps, and he frame traps so well.
Yeah.
Just by being everywhere at once. And his ZSS plays the same way. ZSS actually didn't make the graphic.
Yeah,
Marth made the graphic.
He's been
but
playing for a while at the beginning of the season. He was using a lot of Marth, trying to, get a strong secondary. Zero Suit, obviously one of his first notable character that he ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Taking off getting some major upsets. I know he had DK Will with his Zero Suit back in the day. But he has like every character. He has Diddy. He has I think a Mario.
He's trying to use Mario now. Yeah,
he's got a Fox. Like he's one of those players because he's played online so long, and he grinds so hard on the game. He just has like a mastery over characters that you wouldn't even think. Robin's actually fantastic.
I'm just super happy his Roy didn't make the graphic. that's all I need. Like if he put his Roy on the graphic, I would have been so annoyed because Roy's so bad, but then people play him and do well, and I'm just like, why? That's neither here nor there.
He's good on paper.
He is good on paper. But there you have it, guys. That is actually it. That is the full PR. We have a full 20. I'll let Xylus read it off, but until then, I think we're going to start wrapping up the show here real quick. We'll go down the line. I was your host today, Lord Sturm. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be hanging out with you guys all day.
And you are Xylus. With had a lot of good time. We got to collect so much data. And I love just watching people play, watching people grow in the community. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, everybody take a hat off to Xylus. He's definitely the
Xylus,
data miner.
Xylus works his butt off for every single PR, so definitely give him a round of applause in the chat.
Give me that clap.
In the chat, give him a round of applause. And of course, to Sage. Sage obviously put in a hell of amount of work into this show. So
him and I have lost so much sleep over this last week.
And lastly, we have the emergency, but we definitely love him regardless, and it was great to have him on the show. We have Technique.
Kind of last minute, but I'm definitely happy to be here. I was definitely as soon as I got out of class, I dipped. That train got delayed, so that was a little bit.
No, he was not dressed up like this at his class. Sadly,
no, I wasn't.
That would have been great.
This is the only no. You guys told me. You guys told me. You said
Blazers.
Blazers.
Yeah.
I literally just got to class when you sent me that, and I was like, I don't have any clothes. I'm about to come in here in a t-shirt, and I was like, I just had a concert the other day, and I still had this in my locker, and I was like, might as well put it on. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
You look like you had a great time at prom.
Oh yeah.
So, congratulations.
But actually, I'm about to go trick or treating after this. I'm the headless horseman. I'm gonna tuck my head in. And then
the headless prom king.
Good luck with that, Tech. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. So our
read it off.
Our top 20. Let me read it off again. I'll go backwards, or should I go from top?
Go from 20 to 1.
All right, I'll go from 20 to 1. So number 20, we got Raven King, Wits Raven King. We have number 19, Bo Scotty. Number 18, Virtues Naoto. Number 17, we have Atata. Number 16, we have E2C's Ruins. We number 15, we have Vincent Games Vincent.
Vincent Games.
14, we have You Are Sage. 13, we have Panda Bear. 12, we have E2C Shell. 11, we have SlowJoe. At 10 is Dom. 9 is E2C Bushi. Seth, E2C Seth is number 8. E2C, a lot of E2C, sorry. Demitis. Number 6 is Knights. Then top 5 is Big Mac. And then Dan at 4. E2C Tyroy at 3. I'm sorry, Dan also E2C. Forgot to mention that one. Tyroy, and then JJ Rockets. And then, of course, You Are Ned being number 1.
I think that's 7 E2Cs.
It's a lot of E2Cs.
That's the most. That's the most. It's a good number. 7. It's a good number. But okay,
it's all right. You got number 1.
That is true. Quality over quantity. Whatever. Before we do go, I just do want to remind you Midwest AM 5s this weekend. That is a pretty important tournament
if you're
for
trying to
this next
Oh,
PR.
yes.
get on the PR, it's definitely
If you're
one to
looking to
look
make it.
forward to.
And we haven't really discussed this, but since I'm the one handling the data, I will make the admin decision of we are switching up how we're going to be doing qualifying as far as tournaments go. So Sturm and I were discussing this, and the problem we have right now is having 20 people on the PR. It makes it a lot harder for tournaments to qualify, just because you have 5 less people than we had 25 before, and because of that, it makes it harder for. We had so many tournaments that didn't qualify, just because they didn't have that second person.
Yeah.
So
the old requirements were 16 players with 2 or more PR members in attendance.
So now I'm going to be making it so it's going to be you either have to have 1 or more PR players and 16 plus players, or you have to have 32 plus players regardless of how many PR people are in. That gives basically everyone the chance to go to a tournament, be able to qualify, but be able to hit 32 at a smaller tournament, not that easy. And also, because if it's a smaller tournament, it's going to be weighed less already. So even though we want to make sure that everyone's going to be in a fair game situation, it's still going to make it so you want to go to those larger tournaments more.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to really change much by the way of like how it looks for a player. You just kind of want to go to. You're just still going to just want to go to tournaments and do your best, and that's really it.
Well, like semantics and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just making sure the TOs know that, and because everyone wants to make sure that their tournaments as good as possible.
We also want to make sure like the PR qualification process is pretty transparent.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. But like I was saying before, then Midwest Mayhem 5's weekend. There is no at the door registration for Midwest Mayhem 5, so
and
you do need to pre-register. Thursday.
Yes.
I think at noon. So you guys make sure you register for that. That's coming up, and that is going to be a pretty big deal for this next season.
I mean, we're going to have MVD and
ESAM are the
PG.
challengers there, and I don't think there's a bounty for them at Mayhem 5.
No, it's only Ignition
and
Poplar, which they are going to be at Ignition and Poplar this week. So make sure you come out to those.
That should be super fun. I love having those guys in town. They're great.
Oh, they're such goofballs.
And as a reminder, both these tournaments start streaming at around 7:30 on Wednesday and Thursday. Ignition, obviously, on this channel, Unrivaled Tournaments, and Poplar Creek on the Events to Compete channel. And you'll be able to watch both of those channels if you're not able to come to Midwest Mayhem 5. They will both be live, and it should be an excellent time. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks again, you guys. It's been a pleasure. And thanks again to Mike. Thanks to all y'all for watching, and we'll see you later.